Are you an American? Yeah, but I have a conviction in my heart. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Nobody asked that before. I'm Gary York, and I'm here to ask the tough questions, to answer the tough questions, because I have all the answers. This is coming from 23. The camera ran 10 minutes or 11. Now's the rest of it. 9/11 project, it's getting there. This is September 1st, 2021. This is getting there, 9/11. Here's a project you can do. And I want you to all get with it. Cole, you're going to get an intern here. But this is a 9/11 project you can do. Phoenix police tried to crash my car on 9/11. I was looking for an article full of lies written by the Arizona Republic, organized crime in Arizona. As I said in the last video, my family came out from Connecticut, Joe Arpaio territory, about 1960. They came out to Maricopa County, Arizona, that is Joe Arpaio territory, Phoenix area. Called them up. I talked to the second intern. I think it was a different intern when I called them twice, about a week apart. Second one accused me of having mental problems, so I know that she was preconditioned with lies. Have some fun, people. This is 9/11 coming on. You've been pussies forever? Huh? What is going on? You can't even win a war against your own selves? This Civil War's been going on 160 years? What about that damn Mexican-American War? When are you going to win that? What, they got some laughing Indian woman fighting that thing now? Phoenix gave their part away, trade for slave labor? What a pathetic nation under God. I'm here to bring an entire world of people the answer. And let's do it. Call this up. Say, get going on the 9/11 project. It was 2019. And anyone that wants to lie, it was a long time ago. No. Son of God died a long time ago. It's not a son of God. This is not a holy Bible. This is a history book, very much manipulated by government. And I want to clarify, because the color of this book looks a little similar to something else. I wrote this book. This is my history. 58 years. There would be 55 years of organized crime. I've been, as I said in the last video, that is part of this video, a victim and student of organized crime, 58 years at this point. That would be Phoenix, Arizona. You got Colorado, you got Arkansas, you got Texas. Those are the ones I know of. And coming out of Connecticut, Chicago, Massachusetts. One was laundered through one of these other countries. Anyway, the mob boss was Gila County, laundered. He bragged he had 11 children. He was selling some of the babies, laundering them out of Sicily. Thank you. That'll help you remember a little more when I stutter and can't quite think, and then you hear, oh, Sicily, all right. And that helps you remember a little more. But you got something to do here. Yeah, North Korea, what were you doing there? Well, I'll tell you one thing you were doing there. My uncle was 18 years old. That was what he was doing there. Jared Loughner was something like 20. Well, he knew there was a problem. He didn't know any solution, maybe. He's still waiting. I don't know any solution. Jared Loughner tried one way in Arizona. I'm trying very intelligent, sophisticated patients, 58 years now. And get with it, grow some damn balls. What kind of trash are you in America? Hey, oh, another lost war? You're losers, you lost all of them. Because you're the same trash that the person next to you is, times 8 billion. And what I want to do today is separate the working people from the police and military. In other words, your government. The ones that are destroying you, 9/11 events. You working people should have been angry about that. You got America training 9 pilots to fly through these buildings so they can waste off the money in America. Oh, Weasem's going to get these her people that done this her thing to America. Nah, they're going to waste off the working people's prosperity, and which is called slavery. And I've been whipped. I've been chained. This crap that somebody's ancestors over there may or may not have been slaves. Give me money, give me money. That's crap you hear on TV. I got a whole different world for you. You hear swing and the sword swinging around and a superhero flying through the air and he's making a cool remark while he's getting the bad guy and he's flying through the air. This crap is going to stop pretty quick. You got your 10-year runs, maybe something in there up or down on your real comedies. If they're fictitious characters, they're not real people, they'll run longer. This crap's going to stop and it's going to give way to intelligence. Your TV has a 58-year run of absolute foolishness. Shock-jocking world news is a shock-jocking event. Quite amazing stuff. Let me change the subject a little bit so you can put some of that information down. You got a new TV to be looking forward to in the future, and I want to be part of that. I got the Real Psychology Gary York. I made this part to send the strings down. It's way out of tune. I don't care. I not gonna play it. No. I sing lower than your actual key. That's tuned to the pitch. Excuse me. So I can crank it down lower and retune the strings a little, and then crank it back up, and I'll be on tune. I'm kind of tone deaf, and but I'll play anyway, and you should too. You get to work having fun, figuring out having fun. All this grief going on here. Terry, horribly grieving man. There's a terribly bad woman. Good Lord, Hank Williams. Whew. That man's grieving heavy, and his songs are apparently telling about his wife. I don't know, or some other woman. But I got something here for you. I got the Your Girl. Yeah, Your Girl. Let's show a woman how to be a woman. They don't know. 58 years of empowerment, diapers and fake boobs and all this crap. You make a healthy mind. and you make a healthy and attractive body. And we're going to have to build machines in order to show a woman how to be a woman. I got this pull starter for the woman to power her up. That's a joke. But are you going to remember that pull starter? Or are you going to remember the intelligent psychology that I have for you today? This came up with this used piece of wood, and the woman said $250, and then she said plus tax, and I knew I must have been looking really good that day, and she was jealous that I'm such a gorgeous hero. And that was the one thought I was thinking. The other thought I was thinking was, didn't I see a piece of wood just the same as this out on Highway 50? So I picked this up yesterday. Yeah, so I got one free one. Yeah, recycle. And this thing can be just as fulfilling when this is done. Trying to build this to be 119 pounds is going to be interesting. But that's what I'm shooting for on that. And yeah, that is serious. This is not in any way serious. So you're going to remember this, or are you going to remember the intelligent psychology that I have for you? This is actually serious. To give her that beautiful silky tan that the sun brings. Women now, they're smearing this sunblock on, and there's just these fat, lumpy blobs of terrible. But yeah, you feed give a starving baby a potato chip. You turn around like that, you got 2 starving babies. Now I know on the internet, one asked me for, no, several asked me for money. Well, they're starving. Well, starving, dead bodies, somebody's raped, this, that, and the other thing. This is what you need to focus on. And real psychology, I'm going to explain it again and over and over. This thing's starting to fall apart now. One of the rubber bands rotted. These shut up. The first problem you've got is the mouth jacking open, blathering. And it is done on an unconscious level, just like your computer. You push the letter A, you get the letter A. You notice on your computer, all the times it screws up on you. You push the letter A, you do not get the letter B, because it's not programmed to do that. You're doing your work, all of a sudden the screen turns blue and it says your PC has incurred an error, that we're going to repair this, and save your information. This is the level of completion. It shows you a 0. 2 hours later you come back to that blue screen, it shows you a 0. That is programmed to do that. If they didn't put that program in there, that isn't a fact that you are looking at. That is a program that you are looking at. And psychology is very interesting. It is very intelligent. And there's where your problem is. You got a floozy jumping around in Canada chanting to glorify abortion, 1 million views a day, and right now I gotta start promoting these videos. This will be the 21st one. It'll be the second part of number 23. But you got a real mess that you don't gravitate. It is the only true miracle, is that human beings have only gravitated to stupid and fool. You're fooled. Soon as somebody tells you the truth, the mouth jacks open and argue, and you continue being a fool. And hey, you black people, this I'd want, if I was black, wanted to see some coil springs on the table before I voted for that thing. I know when the Phoenix police had me illegally in jail, 15 months on forced risperidone to get a plea bargain signed. I said, what is that? Little coils on the table. So one of the black victims came out. They're all victims. And he said, well, that's what our hair looks like when it's laying on the table. And so I looked at him. Vote Gary York president. This crap that you got in here now, some senile old man, is it illegal not to know what his name is? It doesn't matter, but is it illegal? He's having a hard time even reading a cue card. You look more important if you're reading off a piece of paper like this. I got notes that are so messed up here. I don't think I can read them, but I still have the same message for you every day. Simple information. What are those people doing over in Afghanistan? What are they, trolls living under a bridge? They're fleeing the country? Where are your homes? I'm hesitating so you can think about that. Where are their homes? We're seeing on the TV people standing out in the middle of nowhere throwing babies over fences. What is going on this earth? Where are their homes? Well, you working men and women need to unite in an intelligent state of mind. You're in a humilitous state of mind because you're the same piece of shit that a police officer is. This is a very tough situation. I asked, fairly recently, asked a dozen people, what do you do for a living? And half of them said, oh, well, I'm on disability. So I come back, what is your ability? They said, well, that is my ability, the disability. And that is a pathetic state of America. And America is not a role model for Afghanistan. They weren't there 20 years ago to win a war. that was to waste off the American money, all the wars going on that you've got, because this is your true answer. And whether your government knows it or not in America, I'm not sure, but your game psychology is laws. And the laws are the pussy stomping on your roof and bashing out your window and doors all at the same time with an armored vehicle parked on the front lawn. And I'm not making this up. That's laws. Religion's atheism. They're not really... how are you not reading that as a history book? It comes out opposite as a history book that's been manipulated by government. Where is that one? I don't know. Anyway, the New Testament only. They threw away the Old Testament completely. That shows you there's things that you can decide fact by real psychology, and then real psychology says no. I'm not going to take away my information I have. No, you give me more information. You want to change my mind, you give me more information. You give me better information. Then I'll decide. And game psychology immediately vanishes one for another, and you're playing a different game, and it's going to be the wrong one. This is never compatible. This is the only thing you've used worldwide. This is the new world order. And I'm saying it the way it is in the King James Version of the Bible, a one world order. Oh, it's the Antichrist. People, these are the simplest psychology tricks that you learned when you were children. And if you think about it, you'll think how stupid you've been. Essentially what you're doing, you're walking 1,000 miles in the wrong direction. Somebody tapped you on the shoulder and said, hey, the right direction is a 180. You started off in the wrong direction. Game psychology says, oh no, I invested 1,000 miles of walking, so I'm going to keep going and invest 2,000 miles of walking, 3,000 miles of walking. It's 2021 years that you've invested last day's doom at a subconscious mind level, because every time you crack a smile and feel a little happier, the person next to you, the Jesus Christ is sinking below the horizon. You've got to create some grief. And I grew up in organized crime, and let's see what's going on. Am I really a one of a kind on the earth? Am I the second coming? Well, I am victim of organized crime. I know that. And victim and student of organized crime, just standing there. I mentioned in one of the videos, maybe 5th grade, little kid half my size just throwing punches at my face on the way home from school. Friend of mine's sister asked me, why didn't you fight back? I couldn't answer her any more than I could fight back, even though I was twice as big. And the answer was preconditioning. And I want you to memory match with all I'm saying. See it in your life and the person next to you. You got to get together. This thing where you want to be the biggest heap of shit on the pile, on the top of the pile, that's what you're doing. Power and money? No. How about friendship and happiness? Do your work. You would have much more wealth if you weren't blowing things up, or you didn't have Officer Pussified stinking up the place. Because they're doing counterproductive work. Your police are murdering, stalking, stealing, kidnapping. And as I say, kidnapping is worse than murder. You murder somebody, they're gone. And they don't have to be a victim of it anymore. But your police are doing these half a dozen crimes like they're going to the grocery store picking out a carton of eggs. That is a very identical, 100% parallel is the mind frame of a police. And we need to change that. We need to get them accountable for what they're doing. Now, there were there may be as many as 5, there may have been more than 5 involved in this event on 9/11, but Kate Gallego already has the information. I've sent it to her twice. Ask her why she's hiding under the desk, pissing into an empowerment diaper and collecting a man's income for a man's job. What's going on here? And what is actually going on in Arizona is organized crime. I've mentioned before, you're not a criminal, then you're not Arizona government. John McCain and that clownish woman, they were throwing the election to get somebody else in. You got Democrat, Republican using you as a pump is what it does. Just like the stock market, they're pumping, they're keeping you in distress continuous. And it's a pump to steal off the wealth of the productive working people. None of you on this earth have any idea what you would have if you quit policing and quit blowing up things with your damn military. My Cabin in Pines, 6424 West Jan Drive. 3 officers surrounded me, trespass onto my property. 3, they bragged as being deputies possibly from Maricopa County, Joe Arpaio territory, even though it was in Gila County. That's what they were bragging, so I'm not sure which one. And the little man in charge was either a very grungy white guy or a Sicilian or black, but I want to mention black in there because the Arizona police have used black, so I'm going to mention that. And as they were firing taser wires into my ass, they fell me 3 times. Well, if the Taliban had pulled up in the driveway there and got out and skinned all 3 of them alive, I'd have taken a break, had a beer, watched them. And then the chains that they were using to chain my legs up after they fell me 3 times in my driveway. Casual falling, similar to the George Floyd event, or in the parking lot with the officers casually murdering a man that fell asleep in the drive-thru. You have the one on the sidewalk, the casual murder, where he's glancing up the camera to make sure that they get a camera shot. Otherwise, you have to do it again. You got another dead body. Skin them. I'll chain them up to the trees in my property. If this is an if scenario. This happened on April 18 of 2009. And oh, that was a long time ago. No, 2021 years a long time ago. Quit pretending that Jesus is going to come back to life. Quit calling him Christ. His name is Magdalene. Quit this holy Bible crap and read this for what it says. Lucifer and Jesus both knew each other. They were both murdered by government. Pilate's gang, Pilate was washing the blood of Jesus off his hands in a bucket and standing in front of the people telling them, "You're next." And the people's response was to pussify, just like an American. Just like everyone around the world. To pussify, they stuff salt in Jesus' mouth. Well, you got your chance again, because that's apparently what Lucifer had going on. They're not explaining it. Nobody else knows that. I wouldn't have known it if I didn't have a different mind frame. I was looking at them. They isolated me from day one, which may have been before birth. But whether I am actually a one-of-a-kind on this earth, you would do very well to assume so. Till proven otherwise, because I'm not here to hurt you. This is nailing a Christ to a cross to pay for the sins of the world is a lie used by modern-day police to give it credibility. Oh, this is what we're doing, but go talk to Oblivion out there about it. George Bush Jr., oh, we's going to get these her people for this her thing they done to America here. Yeah, America trained the pilots. The World Trade Centers have been targeted before, failed events. Organized crime use 1, 2, 3 events pretty often. But organized crime, I sent a note to John Kelly, I think over the internet. Well, Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly. And said, yeah, that game and fish truck that pulled over Jared Loughner while he was rounding up ammunition was a brag by organized crime. That they knew the events were there. All they had to do was have an undercover agent with a small pistol next to him in the parking lot, and the events would have stopped. But your government in Arizona did not do that. Yeah, they want the shock jock event to give you more desperation. It works because you people are stupid, pathetic fools. And the Afghanistan thing, wow. It was the same thing redundant throughout history, to waste off the money in America. And America is the same thing. You got game psychology. No, all of it, all the governments are game psychology. And it is hypnosis. You abandon your brains and you do what the fool says. One of the dictators in another country, he made an observation. He said that America was a bunch of fools being led by a fool, referring to George Bush Jr. And yes, that may not be perfect, but that is a lot better than what you've got. And you're going to have to tell the truth. You've got yourself in a circle of lies. Christianity is just one circle of lies. I think they interpreted that. Why are you interpreting? Why aren't you reading this history book for what it says? It says Pilate was washing his hands of the blood of Jesus. He took part in murdering Jesus. Yeah, and you're interpreting it opposite by spirituality? Shame on all of you. Didn't any of you think to ask your parents, where the hell did you come up with this crap? Where's your credibility? Remember the beginning of this video? Well, nobody ever asked that question. And you should. Think about that. Nobody has asked that question. Yeah, you can't even win a war against your own selves. The Civil War's been going on 160 years. The Mexican-American War, you're busy in there trespassing into Mexico City, chopping stomachs out of women and children and sighing here. I know what they did because they did that to me. And to Jared Loughner, according to everything on the internet that I got, the same illegal sequence they did to me. And you've got a wonderful move forward. Really amazing that you haven't done this thing. I was going to do a bunch of women bashing and say, oh, geez, the men are such terrible people because they have nothing good to do. They've got a woman saying, "Oh, gee, this is all you got today for mowing lawns." Well, what about the competitors' equipment? Didn't you steal any of the competitors' equipment? The pussy dries up and gets cold. Why didn't you steal from your competitor today? And so then the man goes out and steals from the competitor. Every crappy man has an even worse woman behind him. Oh God, these songs are all about that terrible woman. The early 90s, let's put it 1994. I had a sign on the truck. One last desperate move to try and appeal to as many. All I got was 9 alcoholics and one. I'm not going to mention the other one. Leave it off of this. But put a sign on the truck. Wife wanted, my phone number. I did take one out on a date. I should have married her. I'd been better off. She was divorced, another alcoholic. She was 22 years old. And I wasn't looking for an alcoholic, and I wasn't looking for divorced. And but I thought then the mob came in. They brought me one out that could not have children, a barren 21-year-old. They crashed my car about a week later. They bragged the whole thing, so I know all of it. I have first and last names. They did your standard. I was towing a trailer. They pulled in front of me, slammed on the brakes. They had a Toyota truck on the side, and did the whole spiel. Your everyday stop short crash. And I noticed after one of my videos, the overweight attorney advertising, reminding the tired working people on their way home, going to Canyon City, reminding them, hey, you're tired, and how much money did you get? How much money did you owe? You can have $100,000. Just crash the car. And I mentioned that as 100% illegal. Yesterday I looked, I didn't see the sign there anymore. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? One, I'll tell you about some of the brags. I told you about the one of Mark Kelly, the brag with the game and fish truck pulled over Jared Loughner. That was a brag by organized crime. The license plate they put on my truck saying BSR1 and Joe Arpaio, and the date that I moved back to Maricopa County was a brag. Somebody, I won't be specific, local, has a truck fading out now on the passenger side. Well, he got his trailer and his truck by a organized crime car crash. And somebody had painted over the passenger side of this truck, not the truck that he crashed in. They organized crime got him another truck, and it's fading out now that a couple of years have gone by. Fading very badly, peeling off. Somebody must have got a clear coat from the hardware store or something. Cheapest thing they could. It's a brag by organized crime. And one person, I'm trying not to be specific, he thought he was done. He used me for some events. He thought he was done with organized crime, move out of the state. Everything's gone, disconnected. No. When he was 62, 2 different states, not Arizona, is coming out of Arizona, Maricopa County, along with the car crash I just talked about. But I don't know if he realizes that's a brag by organized crime, that peeled paint on the passenger side of his truck. But he thought he was done. $2.5 million laundered through this person's ass over a 15-year period. And then when it was time for somebody else to come into the hospice, they put him to sleep, and that was the end of him. And organized crime is not good stuff. You think you're winning fast, you're winning now. I've heard it before. How much cash can you put in my pocket in the next 2 hours? Well, shame on all of you. None of you can comprehend sequence. An entire earth of people, your computer can't comprehend sequence. Neither can you. And I want all of you to think about that. Please, you're going to be converting. You're not going to be hearing that swing of the sword on TV much longer. You're going to be bored with that. How could you put up with it this long? It is going to be converting over. Your news media is a shock jock media. Oh, the dead body, the count is rising, and this one's arguing this one's arguing that. They cancel out, and you shut it off. You got nothing, but you feel upset, and your cash is going. You've got to be together, collective, 8 billion people. This thing in Afghanistan, apparently, this is September 1st today. Apparently, that's pretty much the end of it, August 30th, I don't know. Do it. Get this done. This is a system, and it is a very clear-cut system. And I've heard people blathering, interrupting me. I tend to have a fictitious audience, so I can use that as a teaching tool. You pretend that a virgin born a son of God on a bale of hay. Your game psychology, here again, you cannot do law. Nobody ever thought of that. It doesn't work because that person is not that person. That person is going to go through smooth. This person's going to be snagged up every day. And what you want to do, and collectively, you just have a mess the whole way through. You are wasting so much by lying in a circle. And we need our Christians to admit you're lying. How do you know that Jesus is the Son of God? Because I know that I know that I know? That was the reply that I heard. And that memory matches with what they told you to say on the TV set. How are we having to build a woman to show a woman what to be, to program the pop-top programming? There's going to be a lot of electronics going into this to make it work, but the mechanical part, I'm looking for ball joints, maybe some tie rod ends, arms and legs. Yeah, this thing can carry some concrete. According to the commercials, the woman has to have her empowerment diaper on. She's throwing a sack of concrete in the truck and pissing herself the whole damn time. Well, I'm going to be talking a lot about what a piece of crap that God made. And this is what you need to discredit this lie that they've been pointing to, that there's a superior being out there telling them to blow up Iraq. And there was not one psychologist on the earth that came forward. 6 billion people that man appealed to. 6 billion! Not one came forward with the answer. And that, of course, was good God, bad God. George Bush Jr. told everyone he was not willing to make a choice. He's just doing what God says. And I elaborated more on that in the last video, which would be the first part of this, so look at that. But you've got to understand, and you're not doing that. Does your computer understand? And this is what you need to look at. Does your computer understand? Look at that person next to you. Show them one of these videos. And yeah, one of them is only 5.5 minutes. One of them is 11 minutes was the first part of this. Show it to them. And see if the mouth jacks open and argue. And please subscribe. Tell your friends about it, because this is the future. The faster you move, the better it'll be, because it becomes a try not to. When you're still hearing that shring, and some fool jumping around with a sword and super and all this crap, and then he's got the stair with a painted up woman. You're only going to do that so many times before you've had enough, and I'm sure hoping it's now. Your TV is going to make a 180 turn. Your news is no longer going to be... I asked somebody a question, they say it doesn't matter. Multiply that fool by 8 billion and you've got a fact. It doesn't matter. Yeah, well, I want you to think about something. I found someone perfect. His face, his voice, his quick comeback. Let's do a movie. This was 2 years ago. Let's do a movie called 8 Billion Fools. Now, I'm going to be the intelligent man. And, you know, I didn't say it out this blatantly. You're going to represent 8 billion fools. I didn't say it that blatantly. He says, no, I can't do that. I can't. Well, why not? When you're ashamed of something, when you can't put this up against this, or read this as a history book as opposed to a holy Bible, this comes to opposite conclusion as a history book. You don't have a guide, you've got a government. It is the most simple psychological trick there is. Hey, I'm right here committing the crime, but there's accountability off there somewhere in oblivion. Most simple, these are basic, simple psychological tricks. Somebody's talking. And I do this every once in a while. I get tired of it pretty quick, and then they win, of course. But you get enough momentum, 8 billion, and you're all going to win then, along with me. Call Kate. But anyway, whose mouth did your words just come out of? And they're quiet. Yeah, their lie was quick, that they ventriloquized over to me. But if they tell you whose mouth that came out of, that's the end of the trick. Yeah, the lie is exposed and it doesn't work anymore. So try that. Next time somebody says something, you're feeling it right here or over there, say, whose mouth did your words just come out of? These are pretty simple things. I asked somebody, they said, oh, you've got tendencies of schizophrenia. I said, oh, that's a connotation. I said, I want information. I want information. So after about a minute, she said there were several things. Okay, what's one of them? And after about a minute, she says, well, you accused Kate Gallego of stealing your house. I said, that's an absolute lie, and it is an absolute lie. But I didn't even know who the mayor was, I don't think, until 2 years ago. But anyway, my home was stolen in 2016, January 6th. They stole me out of my home. So this little simple event is a good start. Get going on the 9/11 Project. Email her. Say, get going on the 9/11 Project 2019. She'll know exactly who it is. It's Gary York. She may lie that she doesn't. But anyway, so this person bounced back. I said, who told you that? She said, you did. How many times, I'm not going to say how many times if you said that lie, I'm going to say how many times the person next to you used that identical sequence of lies. Say, you're wrong, what are you lying for? Where did you get that? Yeah, immediately. I mean, it's like 50% or more of the time. Well, you said that. What does it take, people, to get all you stupid American pussies losers, man? Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, You can't even win a war against your own self? This Mexican-American war, you give Phoenix back and trade for slave labor? What a bunch of crap. Real psychology, by the way, does not have borders. You got such a mess with game psychology, I put a question mark on the also. I don't know if it'll work because apparently it's been 2021 years since somebody has tried to do that. And as soon Jesus was teaching for 3 years. I was just informed this by a Bible reader. He started teaching at 30 years old. He taught for 3 years, then they nailed him to a cross. And they didn't have any reason to nail him to the cross that they could tell you about. They didn't want to tell the truth. This guy was talking real psychology, and the only way I know is because I was born this way. And the way I explain it, some people are born, they grow 2.5 feet tall. Most of the other people grow something like twice that tall. Very unusual event, but it is real. It does occur. And this is not prophecy. It was merely an educated guess. Lucifer apparently was the mastermind behind it. They burned him in a lake of fire. They mentioned they cast him out of heaven. He was trying to take over God. Well, God is the lie. It is called a synonym. God is the lie. Government is getting more close to the truth. The bad guy. Are they hurting you? They're governing you. They're government. Are they putting fish in your lake? They're not hurting you. You should not be calling them government because you need to separate things. You got too many things apart that should be one unit. Like your insurance is your hospitaling. As I said in one of the last videos, probably 90% of that hospitaling is fake operations, fake pills. 90% of your health care is a vehicle to explain something. They're using it as a vehicle to cause you to self-populate a lie without them actually telling you that lie straight out. And they're very simple psychological tricks. Your organized crime brags. So I know all of what they're doing, and I can tell people what they're doing. When I see something on the news, I interpret it different. Excuse me, I'm not interpreting it. I'm taking it for what it is. But if they don't brag it, it becomes a try not to be found out. And that doesn't work. It is very uncomfortable. People have confessed to murder that they weren't even looking for. It wouldn't have been caught, but the try not to get caught. These psychological factors compel you. In the early 90s, my girlfriend, I called her Mommy, TV told her, I think it was the Bryman School, pay money to a college. You sacrifice. Excuse me, this is sarcasm. Sacrifice. Here's your credibility of sacrifice, and is an absolute lie. You hurt yourself, you hurt yourself. You don't heal yourself by hurting yourself. And anybody that wants to tell me you're cutting down a tree to build a house, shut up. That's what you need to do. You can't argue and learn at the same time. She's thrown away a husband that loved her, good equity, and she showed me the house. Beautiful house, wonderful neighborhood, 3 beautiful children. The one was 3 years old, the youngest one. She's out in a trash apartment drinking cheap beer, smoking a cigarette, and she's going to school now because the TV told her to do that. Really? Well, how is that TV stronger than her husband that loves her, the equity in the house, the the security, the happiness of it, the fulfillment. No, she had to go to that TV because it was the try not to. You can't do it. You may do it for a day or two or something, but it's like trying to stand like this next to that last half of that bag of chips and that soda, and you're thinking, well, they're fresher right now, I better eat them now. And the try not to doesn't work. It's very painful. And so she had to do what she had to do. I said, now that you've learned that they lied to you, that paper diploma, she said, meant nothing. She couldn't be a cougar because we didn't want a mommy that was all used up and had a husband that loved her sitting somewhere else waiting for her. What a disgusting mess. But it was the try not to. The people had to do what that TV told them because they couldn't help it. It was like that other half of the pack of cigarettes. Try not to smoke it. Try not to do what the TV hypnotic suggests you to do. It doesn't work. And here again, people, I'm claiming to be the only intelligent man on the earth. The rest of you are completely stupid fools. Fool meaning you're being fooled. I'm using the word stupid. Moron or idiot doesn't work. Moron, 12-year-old. Idiot, 2-year-old, no. You're a low grade. You're a $12 computer. You need to eat and poop. You're worth nothing. You're a pain in the ass. And the answer to all this, hopefully I can wrap this up now. It went in a completely different direction than I intended it today. 9/11, 9/11. Please respect these videos. Grow it. Fabricate it out of nothing. Try and look at that mouth blathering next to you. Show them the video. And say, yeah, that's what Gary York said you would do. Your mouth jacks open and automatic argue. And that stupid laughing, that is an argue also. The gassing out and the cool looks on your face, that is argue. All of it is called argue, miming, whatever. Your words are very little of it. Your words are nothing but lies. There's a circle of lies. Get rid of your C, put a think symbol in there. Call this woman, ask her, this is a man's job. You're not doing it. You black guys, I'll mention one thing on that. I saw a commercial recently. The black guy is dancing in place in the red convertible, and all of a sudden the hood ornament chimes in. That she's the brawn she's the brains and he's the brawn, and they're starting to come after you black guys now. They've been after the white guy the whole time, and it's all biblical. The woman's cradling the product and she's perfect and smart. It's all pretend, of course. The white man is down crawling around, banging into things, babbling. He doesn't even know who Mark is. And the woman has the product. She's smart. Yeah. Well, that was going on with the white guys a long time. And legal or not, those white guys need a kick in the pants that are doing those commercials. You need to start saying no, no, no. And start saying yes, yes, yes to learning something intelligent. The thing to do is to separate them. You've got police and military, and then you've got the productive working people. Now, there are different facets of that. Like I say, your organized crime, you got your hospitaling, your insurancing. They're all vehicles to launder cash. And this guy with a truck with a faded side on it, they're targeting him. Yeah, they're going to get cash out of him. They're going to get money out of him. And so that's how organized crime works. And it does. This is organized crime right here. Gallego. And go for it. Email her. Hey, get going on the 9/11 project. And she will know it's Gary York. And but get to it. Enjoy. Separate the two. Your military, your police. Your productive working people start getting insulted. Hey, you just blew up that building. That's your poverty, your homelessness. Afghanistan. Don't these people have homes? They're fleeing Afghanistan. What about their homes? Yeah, Officer Pussified had to steal me. What was the cars? It was my 2576 East Sweetwater Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona 85032. That's my house too. Let's get it back. That's one of the things I want. I want my home back. Phoenix police illegally stole me, sold my $300,000 house. I had $300,000 equity in it. They sold it to their friends for $95,000 in order to launder. It's called laundering. And organized crime told me, oh no, it's not your house anymore, it's not your house. Well, the thing's in it, about $100,000 worth of stuff, including a fully restored 1950 Ford business coupe. But a lot of stuff in there they stole also besides the $300,000 house. Organized crime says, it's not your house anymore, it's not your house anymore. I had just put beautiful dimensional shingles on the roof about 4 years prior. They trashed over it with black shingles. They were doing anything to hide the identity of my home. It's still there, it's still that same address. Let's get my home back. Let's show the world that you're going to start in Phoenix, Arizona, Gila County, Maricopa County, and you're going to show the world that you're going to do it right this time. And all you've got to do is get going on the 9/11 project. And people, like I say, be proud of your work. That was what I was going to say to these people. Be proud of your work. And then they're telling me, no, they're getting money disability. Be proud of the productive work you're doing. And be quite insulted when somebody's dropping a bomb on it or bashing out your front window with a steel pipe and pushing the curtain over to show you that they're a little black man. And there was solid steel bar welded in the block. 3/4 inch square solid bar welded in the block because the Phoenix police had done a burglary on my home on 2007. It was October 16 of 2007. So anyway, I've got a long history. I know all about organized crime, so ask me. I've been a victim and student. Whether I am the only one teaching this, so far, yes. And what was I going to mention? I'm the only intelligent man. Sorry, ladies, there's no evidence that there's ever been an intelligent woman. Enjoy. This is 9/11. Enjoy. Call her up. Email Kate Gallego. Call her up. You'll get the intern. She's hiding under the desk pissing herself into her empowerment diaper that a man, probably a white man, designed. Let's get to it. I mean, let's get some better women going on in this country. All the people in their grief here. I was once I saw that I was snagged up with the mob boss's daughter, and they did the Stop Short crash to pay for her trip out from Chicago. She couldn't have children. She had lied to me the whole way through. She was just another alcoholic. She said, let's go out for coffee sometime. They knew what lies to tell. Oh, I have a membership at the zoo because I like the zoo so much. No, she likes sitting in a bar and being drunk. And large breast, fine. Naked, no. They're hanging down here over their lumpy wine gut. Let's get some better women going on here. And get you women back to having some fun. All this crap was about was slavery. I told a friend of mine, he's organized crime, I said, well, there's nobody in the real world here. I've tried everything. I'm going to look up Jennifer Anderson, I said. Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. He said that Lisa Kudrow is all withered and rotten. I said to him, well, do you have any idea that is a different person? And, but anyway, she was no good either. But I thought, oh, she married Brad Pitt. Well, he's almost as good looking as me. Gee whiz, he was in the area. That didn't work either. It doesn't matter where you're at. The richest man on the earth, 27 years. Apparently, she finally showed who she was. I'm not sure what the situation, but people should be together more after all those years, not apart more. And it's happening through that TV set. You're going to have an entirely different new TV. Your world news is not going to be shock jock events. They're asking you to self-populate a bunch of lies. They're going to tell you the detailed information of these people, what they were doing. And get these people like Jared Loughner, he should have been on trial to find out what he's doing. Now, nobody did that. Anyway, enjoy. Here's your 9/11 event. And this doesn't have to end next week either. Get the job done. And keep calling Kate Gallego. And vote Gary York president. I mean, I'm not a senile old man. When I'm 112, please disregard me. But this beady-eyed white guy can't even read his cue cards right. But anyway, enjoy, get to it, get to it, get to it. Call her up, call the interns, tell them get with the 9/11 project. You got Mayor Kate Gallego. There you go, email her, get on the 9/11 project. And enjoy, you American pussies. Separated, military police over there. Hospitaling, insurancing over there. The productive working people, start getting proud of yourself. I don't care about your biblical humility. You get proud of yourself. Thank you.